Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to make filo sheets with ground beef. This time we're using a different type of filo sheets. So we're using the puff pastry, and we have some ground beef and onions, chopped onions, butter, salt and pepper, and we also we'll use a little bit of oil to help the butter soften. Now we're putting the butter and the oil so we can make the beef. We're gonna stir the onions in the butter. Until the onions is a little soft, and then we'll add the meat. Now that the onion is a little yellow, we're gonna add the meat, the ground meat. We're gonna keep stirring until it gets brown, and then we're gonna add some salt and pepper, and then we're gonna stuff it into the puff pastry. Now that the meat is a little bit brown, we're gonna add some salt and pepper and some garlic powder. And we're gonna keep stirring for a couple more minutes, and after that we're gonna stuff it. Here we added some oil to our little pan, and now we added the first sheet of the puff pastry. In the middle we're gonna add the ground meat that we've cooked, and we're gonna cover it with the second sheet. Okay, here we're adding the meat. And we're rolling the puff pastry a little bit so it would be a little bit thinner. Now we're covering the cooked ground beef with this second layer of the puff pastry. Now we're covering the top. We put a little bit of oil or butter, whichever you prefer, and we're gonna brush it on the top. Now we're gonna cut it into little squares before it's cooked, so we can add some milk and eggs on top. Here we have an egg and some milk and salt and pepper, so we can put it on top of the filo sheets. Okay, once it's fully covered, we're gonna put it in the oven. So now we're preheating the oven for about 5-10 minutes while the eggs and the milk are soaking into our pastry. So this is the type of beef that we're using for the beef cutlet. We pound it a little bit. Yes, it's very thin, as you can see, but we pound it so it won't shrink while you're frying it. So being that it's very thin, we pound it very lightly. But if you get a thick cut, then you'll pound it a little bit harder. And here we're pounding this other side. Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to make beef cutlets. Here we have some very thin cut beef, and we pounded it a little bit to make it thin and to help it not shrink while you're frying it. And here we have some chopped onions with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And we have an egg and some breadcrumbs. And here is our beef cutlet after it was mixed with the onions, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and the eggs. Now we're gonna put it in the breadcrumbs and start frying. Now we added some breadcrumbs to our meat cutlets after all the other ingredients we added first, and now we're gonna start frying it. And then when it's brown on one side, we'll flip it to the other side to brown the second side. And here is the final look at our puff pastry made with ground beef. You can already see its layers, very nice and fluffy. And then here we have the beef cutlets. I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you try it and you like it, please let us know. Write your comments, and we'll see you next time.